What do the US and Israel want? Are Russia, China, and Iran really enemies of the West? First, we need to understand who really decides and leads the US. It's widely believed that the White House, US Congress, and the Senate are controlled by a higher organization, often referred to as the super deep state or the Cabal. The media often claim that the CIA is behind the major decisions and controls the US leadership. However, the reality is different. The CIA, like the rest, is a tool serving the Cabal. Imagine a pyramid with horizontal lines representing a hierarchical organization. The CIA and the US leadership are in the lower layers. Does the CIA or the White House truly understand the endgame? The answer is a big no. Each layer understands and executes instructions from above without needing to know the full picture. When discussing the US and Israel, it's important to recognize they are like marketed products in different regions with specific missions. To understand the big picture, we need to look higher in the pyramid. Former Canadian Minister of Defense, Paul Hellyer, understood the U.S. modus operandi. The U.S. creates enemies to justify producing and selling more weapons, fostering constant wars. This is akin to a corporation needing competition to expand sales. The Rothschilds pioneered this strategy, financing empires to fight each other. As Henry Kissinger said, "Who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy can control whole continents. Who controls money can control the world." The ongoing conflict between Arabs and Jews is a balancing act to control the region and protect oil and gas supplies. In the Eastern Mediterranean, significant reserves of oil and gas involve many nations, including Turkey, Greece, Egypt, Lebanon, Israel, Syria, Libya, and Gaza. Israel is already a net exporter of gas, and other nations face attacks because the U.S. and Israel aim to control the region's energy resources. The U.S. tactic of control through chaos and fear resembles a recipe. Create a few bad groups, labeled terrorists, to scare oil-producing kingdoms, forcing them to buy weapons and protection, similar to mafia tactics. The U.S. becomes the insurance company collecting monthly payments. Trump was direct about this, stating that countries needing U.S. policing must pay up. The saying goes, "You pay, you pump." Similar scenarios unfold in Africa, where ex-colonizers plus the U.S., Russia, China, and Turkey compete for markets. France, after over a century of exploitation, is being ousted from Africa. The U.S. helps by inventing new enemies, terrorists, creating a need to stay and exploit the region. The IMF and World Bank play the role of good guys, helping poor countries but ultimately forcing them into debt to control resources. This creates a clockwork mechanism where indebted countries can never repay, like Greece. This method of control doesn't require armies. The IMF suffices. Regarding Israel, the narrative of the chosen people and the promised land is a strategic lie. This marketing has brainwashed many. Theodor Herzl, the founder of Zionism, first approached the Ottoman Empire's Sultan to buy land, now Israel. When refused, Herzl lobbied Britain, leading to wars against the Ottoman Empire and the eventual establishment of Israel. Post-WW2, Jews took over this land, displacing the original Arab inhabitants. The British are culpable for today's Middle Eastern conflicts, having drawn borders in Africa and the Middle East to control and conquer. Today, Turkey is the real target. The Cabal has coveted Turkey for centuries. George Bush Jr. openly stated Turkey shouldn't solely own the Bosporus. Turkey's strategic position linking Asia to Europe makes it key. Herzl's Greater Israel includes parts of southern Turkey and beyond. The Gaza conflict isn't about Hamas. It's a ploy by Netanyahu to create a regional war, using Iran as a scapegoat while targeting Turkey. Israel and Iran have collaborated, and their enmity is a facade sponsored by the US and UK. Turkey is encircled by Greek, US forces in the Aegean, British, French, and U.S. forces in southern Cyprus, and U.S. and Israeli forces in Syria and Iraq. If Russia were truly an enemy of the U.S., why don't they shoot down Israeli jets bombing Iranian proxies in Syria? Russia plays the friend of Turkey but has historically been its enemy. These dynamics exemplify the era of competitive transactional wars, a grand comedy. Israel seeks to draw Turkey into conflict, with the U.S. ready to invade Turkey to defend Israel, reminiscent of Hollywood's Pearl Harbor and 9/11 scenarios. The question is whether Erdogan will fall into this trap. The new Turkey is smarter, but if the Cabal has a Trojan horse, all bets are off.